All right. Hello, everybody, and welcome to the next project showcase for Well FM. It's a series that dives deep into projects that not only provide amazing experiences for their user base and collectors, but are revolutionizing the NFT technology and in their respective industries. So I'm your host, the Cryptolorian. Today we have, I'm super excited to have Jesse from the Aavegotchi project to talk about one of their new offerings, which is fake Gochis. Aavegotchi, if you haven't heard of this, which we'll go into, but it's an open source, community owned NFT gaming protocol. They have DeFi, they have land, they have they have ghosts, they have all kinds of stuff. I've been loving the game since its launch. And I've been a huge supporter of it ever since. Petting my ghost every day, doing the things. But Jesse, really, really, really glad to have you on. This is amazing. I know you've been on Well before. The project has a few times, but this is exciting because it's my first time getting to talk to you.
Yeah, likewise. I know you've been a fan and active in the space, and thank you for having me. So. I'm one of the co-founders of Aavegotchi, and there's kind of two parts to Aavegotchi. We started the project as a DAO, right? So first and foremost, everything with Aavegotchi is Aavegotchi DAO. So technically, I'm one of the summoners of the DAO. And then on the other side is kind of this hybrid where we have our gaming studio, Pixelcraft Studio, and that is where I'm the co-founder there. So I just want to correct that up front or address that up front, and then kind of like talk about whatever you'd like to talk about today. We've been very busy at Pixelcraft shipping on the Gotchiverse side. And, I see some of our gang here. I'm a bit distracted because I've got my other screen open. And in the Aavegotchi Discord, I just mentioned, we're going live. And people are obsessed with your avatar, your online avatar. So you're quite famous already.
That's awesome. Yeah. So for those, so we have people, we have a ton of members that, talk about art. They like art. They like NFT projects, DeFi. You name it. We're the Well community or membership or, whatever we call ourselves. Basically, well, we love NFTs. And for those who haven't heard, so, we have artists coming in, listen to the stream. Can you give them just a basic description of what Aavegotchi is? Because it's so many things. Like you said, you have a game studio, you have a DAO, you have all these things. Maybe just give them a brief summary, and then we'll talk about some other cool stuff that you're doing.
Sure. So yeah, there are some really recent releases that might be interesting for your audience and for your community. For a quick overview, I would just say Aavegotchi is different than most PFP projects. So assuming you're familiar with, your average NFT PFP 10K type project, Aavegotchi is not that. It may look like that at first glance. You have these cute pixelated ghosts called Aavegotchis, but they are actually much, much more about the experimentation and the leveraging of all these wonderful new standards we have on Ethereum and all the EVM chains. And we're leveraging those to put together something that is much more compelling in terms of on-chain use cases. That's our starting point with everything that we design is how does this highlight, how is this something we can't build without crypto, without Web3? And that's kind of the starting point for so much. And that's why your Aavegotchi is your avatar for Web3, in the sense that it earns XP, experience points, every time you interact with the Aavegotchi DAO or attend social events in the Aavegotchi community. We actually airdrop experience points to your Aavegotchi. And those matter because you can actually do an on-chain transaction to cash those in. And basically, they're not an ERC20 token, but you cash them in the sense that you convert them into traits, into upgrading your traits. Your traits are on a bell curve. We love to play with the memes of crypto. And those you can move to the left or the right of the bell curve with your XP points. And so that's just one of many examples of how an Aavegotchi lives and thrives on chain. All of the artwork is on chain. If you're familiar with like Avastars and some of the early pioneers of that, we took it a step further when we deployed the Aavegotchis on Polygon. And so you have all of the artwork as SVG files stored in the smart contract, much like an Avastar. But it's not just the front view. It's actually, I believe, well, you got the left view, the right view, the back view, and the front view. So you have 4 sides that are there stored in the smart contract for every item, every wearable, every Aavegotchi. And what that means is you have extreme composability. And if indie game developers, anybody wants to come in and build off of the Aavegotchis, so much is there waiting for you to work with. So that's 2 examples. I could keep going, but your Aavegotchi is your digital pet. It's literally a piggy bank. We took ERC20 tokens and you can stake them inside of your Aavegotchi. That's the reference to Aave. We partnered with Aave early on so that their interest generating tokens can actually be put in just like a piggy bank in real life into your Aavegotchi. In fact, that's the only way you can bring an Aavegotchi to life, is to do that act of depositing some Aave tokens. And so there's about 17,000 Aavegotchis in total. We have an awesome lending system that is basically inspired by like Axie Infinity and what they did with the scholarship model, except we moved it entirely on chain. So imagine Uber, but instead of booking Uber cars, you're not ride sharing, you're booking your Aavegotchi for X amount of hours in a P2P marketplace that's at aavegotchi.com. And so we're trying to address scalability so that millions of people can play with Aavegotchis or other NFTs in the future without sacrificing the scarcity, which is, of course, kind of the most interesting thing. Digital scarcity is where all NFTs kind of started. And oh yeah, there's one right there. So you can see the traits on the left. To be honest, in the beginning, we just wanted to build a better crypto pet. I had a lot of crypto kitties and I didn't feel attached to it. I didn't feel it lived up to the subgenre of NFTs of crypto pets. And so with this, you can actually pet it, you can name it, and it's kind of like an ENS domain name. When you name it, nobody else has that name. When you pet it, that's proof of attention. It's an on-chain transaction on Matic, so it costs you maybe a penny, but you're proving that you logged in and saw your Aavegotchi that day. And when you do that, this is another dynamic metadata point where when you summon a brand new Aavegotchi, it starts at a score of like 50 for kinship. And every time you pet it, it goes up by 1. But if you neglect it for roughly 24 hours, it will decrease by 1. And so what you end up with is a really interesting phenomenon where you can see which Aavegotchis are very attached to their owners and the owners are attached to their Aavegotchis. And then you also see the neglected ones. And we actually have like guilds and various groups that are kind of Aavegotchi adoption agencies, and they want to take care of those Aavegotchis and build that kinship back up.
Oh, I love it. And I can't say that I've been petting every day. I was consistently, and then I just started back up again.
Well, I'm looking. You can see right there. You know, your kinship score is decent. Your Gotchi says it is devoted, so that's pretty good.
It still loves me.
Still devoted.
But yeah, I have neglected a little bit. But yeah, I do come back, every once in a while and give it the pets. You could see I did. I'll just jump over here real quick. but yeah, you could see my other. I was trying to get all the Ghostbusters in here, so that's what I went with. But I did give Stance to my wife, and she was very neglected. She didn't pet as much, so I had to take it back. So Stance is now mine again. So.
In safe hands. Yeah, that's good. And, a little alpha there. Some people are, we're busy people. We can't pet every day. And this is all open source and on chain. So inevitably, very quickly, some of the devs in the community spun up some auto petters, and they have different ways of functioning. But if you go to Aavegotchi.com and you click on the tools page, you'll find some of the options. There's like a gotchi daycare, and you can actually basically, I think the terms are different for each one, but you can imagine like you don't give up your Aavegotchi. You just do a transaction to give up a certain permission, a petting permission to another smart contract. And if the terms are like, if you stake 99 ghost tokens, GHST tokens, you stake them, they collect the yield on that, and they're happy to pet your gotchi for you.
Wow.
So something you might want to consider. Power of open source Web3 there.
It's amazing. So I just want to say, a lot of the things that Aavegotchi's been doing over the years now, which is it's so weird to say, over the years, but a lot of things that you've done. So you're just pushing the boundaries of everything. I played a bunch of the games, right? The experience games that the community has made and other folks have made, and using your Aavegotchi to play in those, earn experience points. I mean, the DAO that you have, the land game that you have. I mean, everything is really pushing the boundaries of what you could do with NFTs. And I always found that, and I'm sorry, I'm fanboying a little bit, but I always found that to be really inspiring. And I think that Aavegotchi has really proven to be one of the leading projects in the space, honestly, to push this tech, and I love it.
Well, I appreciate that. We are still a relatively, we've done a lot with a little, like we have a team of about 40 people on Pixelcraft Studios. And then the DAO, you've got over 100,000 wallets now that hold GHST. But probably maybe, 500 to 1,000 very dedicated and engaged members of the DAO that are, even right now as we speak, before this call was interfacing with some people that are working on proposals, and I think we've had nearly 40 improvement proposals for the Aavegotchi DAO so far. And that's not easy because it's a process. You have your kind of like signal proposal, and then it gets upgraded to a core proposal if you hit quorum and blah, blah, blah. So it's the bar is high, and there's been a lot of progress by both Pixelcraft Studios, but also a lot of credit to just the wider community. The games you were referencing that are built by indie developers and hobbyists, and it runs the whole spectrum. And in the near future, outside of the Gotchiverse, which is kind of our flagship game, there are a number of games that are being built by community members and different game studios that are working with the Aavegotchi IP and with that open source contract to build some pretty cool stuff. So I'm pretty bullish on I know where we are in the market, but the foundation is strong, and we've worked really hard to just be kind of radical about embracing what crypto really is, and using those different standards to our advantage. I mean, for example, if you go back and look at that Aavegotchi, it had a wizard hat on, right? For anybody looking, the gotchi is actually a naked gotchi. That's your 721. The wizard hat is an 1155 token. The staff is another token. These are actually, what you're actually looking at are stacked NFTs. And we composably pull them all together using a seldom used standard that's been around for years called the 998. So if you're into like checking out all the different standards, the 998 is a super powerful NFT standard that doesn't get enough attention, I feel like. And I think it's because when it debuted, it was on Ethereum, and it was gas intensive to do how it works. But we're on Polygon, and so we get the benefit of the same standards, the same code, but we don't have those limitations. And so we're able to composably stack these NFTs in a way that makes the sum literally greater than its parts.
I love it. And yeah, you've really pushed Polygon to its limits. And honestly, every time you would do something new or release something, it's quite amazing. I mean, I remember I was part of a lot of the big raffle stuff. When you had that raffle system in place, I was definitely taking part of that. And the items, the wearables, everything has really pushed this ecosystem to I keep saying the next level, because it is really, and it's really grown. And I think that wow, I want to say that a lot of projects really should pay attention to Aavegotchi, honestly, because you really are everything that should be Web3, right? And the DeFi that you've incorporated is just fantastic, from day one, honestly.
Yeah, I mean the curve, even the tokenomics around GHST token is quite unique. It all mints and burns on a bonding curve that we were able to use contracts open sourced from Aragon, and again, seldom used, there for the taking. Anybody could do it, and we were able to modify it a bit with you have a lot of parameters you can adjust, and I think we have some of the best tokenomics in the space. If you're talking about tokenomics that are not necessarily just for speculation, but actually longevity, which if you're building a metaverse game like we are, then you want something like that can actually be both governance and also a currency. I think we've achieved something extremely unique in the space with our GHST tokenomics, and literally that's what made it a DAO from day one. Also the raffles you mentioned, anybody that likes Chainlink and the VRF, that's what I think we were one of the first, if not the first, to use the Chainlink random number generator contracts in Oracle on Ethereum. And we certainly were the first. We were actually waiting to deploy our Aavegotchis. We were waiting for Chainlink to come over to Polygon. This is like 2 years ago. And as soon as they came over, boom, we were ready to do the launch. And so Aavegotchis, a lot of their traits are randomized all trustlessly through Chainlink. And so, yeah, we just try to take, like I say, it's just looking around the space at who's doing what right and using those Legos. They always talk about money Legos, but it's not just money Legos. It's all kinds of Legos. And we just like to play with them, put them together, and create something special with them. And if we're not creating something that couldn't be done without Web3, then we don't have much interest in making it. And so that's why just this last week, we launched Fake Gotchis. And I think a lot of people in the whale community would especially appreciate this. I'm based here in Singapore and was recently at the Singapore Crypto Week, and whale had a huge presence. And in fact, the first thing I saw when I got to Token 2049 was whale. Like the whale had a huge presence and a wonderful gallery, a wonderful art gallery that I got to go through. I saw some X copy in there, a lot of great artwork, and also some cool auction stuff that I unfortunately did not win, but I certainly did my best to try. And yeah, I think what we've done with Fake Gotchis is something brand new, and it's kind of a remix on some of the other collections and ways of creating an art collection that we've seen in the past. And so would love to share a little bit about what we're doing there. And of course, happy that we got to cover a bit of the history of Aavegotchi and just let people know the Gotchiverse is live. And that's probably our most ambitious, by far, it's our most ambitious build to date. It's literally, much love to Yuga Labs, but I just say the stuff that Yuga Labs is leaking in their PowerPoints is the stuff we're already putting live in practice right now. We're shipping it right now. We can, and I say that because I can back it up. We can literally support 10 to 15 to 20,000 players playing in the Gotchiverse at the same time through their browser right now, without parsing that out to multiple regional servers like you do in Decentraland or CryptoVoxels. It took a lot of effort, a lot of investment, and we've achieved something that, even Web2 games, it's a very, very short list of teams and games that have that infrastructure. So we're going to have a hell of a Halloween party this time tomorrow. And everybody from Whale is invited, and you can help us stress test our system. We'll be trying to redline it.
Absolutely. I'm excited. Halloween's one of my favorite times of year. And yeah, I 100% agree with you. your ecosystem and what you've been. I was, even when you did your first stress test, I was there, floating around.
So, at that time, I mean, we were happy if we could get, I think we were very ambitious. We started with like 5,000 off the top, and it was difficult to achieve. I think we had to dial it back a bit, but that was in June, right? And now we're in October, and we're basically what our backend built from scratch backend devs are calling infinite horizontal scaling, and we've achieved it in the last few weeks. So I can't express enough how excited I am for what that means for the future.
Absolutely. So you said it. It's a great segue. Let's look at some Aavegotchi stuff. I'm excited to learn about it. You're teaching me from scratch here. I've seen it, and I've seen the announcements. I get a little bit distracted at times. So I'm learning as everyone else is. So take it away. I'm excited about Aavegotchis.
Absolutely. So Aavegotchi's a bit tongue-in-cheek, right? And it's also a hat tip to the fake rares, the rare Pepes, which are, interestingly enough, they're outside of my normal circle of influence, which is anything EVM, Polygon, Ethereum, even Avalanche, those EVM chains. But what they've accomplished over there is quite impressive in terms of the strength of the community, the open source nature of their artwork. And also, the more I learned about it, the more I realized they've done some amazing things in terms of curation. And so we gave them a hat tip here because there is some influence in terms of the curation part, which I'm very excited to talk about. So with Aavegotchis, we just launched last week. And let's just go through the site here, and you'll see some of the artwork that is on the way or already released. This is kind of a preview bar here. And what it is it is a collaborative art collection, crypto art collection, collaboratively, organically growing. And the way we achieve that is, let's see if I can get a picture of it. We've got these things called Aavegotchi cards. And this is where this comes from Fake Rares. They had these cards. And if you wanted to submit an artwork to the greater collection, you could kind of destroy or burn the card. And then that was your opportunity to submit. I haven't seen that model on EVM. Correct me if I'm wrong. Just have not seen it on Ethereum or anywhere over here. And so what we did is we started there, said, let's create something inspired by that where you have a capped amount of cards, and everyone who has a card has a right to publish. They have a right to submit to publish. And so there are roughly 2,500. There's technically 2,535 Aavegotchi cards. And what you do is, if you get one of these NFT cards, you are able to come in here and go to the mint page, and you go through this, and then you do this, and you would fill in all the metadata. You'd create a Aavegotchi. You go through, you put the name of the artwork, put the description. All of this gets saved on chain through Arweave. We're using Arweave to secure everything on chain. And you can do a supply of 1 to 100 editions of your artwork. You have your artwork here being uploaded to Arweave, a thumbnail as well. You can do a bunch of file types. You can do video, stills, whatever you want. We recommend 3 different ratios: portrait, landscape, square. And this is where it gets interesting. This is totally us. We said we want this to be collaborative because we knew a lot of people in the Aavegotchi community would get these cards through a raffle that's coming up, by the way. The cards have not been mass disseminated yet. You still have your chance. And they may not be the artist. So what do we do here? We have 2,500 cards to distribute, and the people who get the cards may be the fan, the collector, but may not be the artist. Well, the cool thing is if you have the card, you're technically the publisher because you're burning the card and publishing. And then you can collaborate with an artist, anyone you want. And this is not trustless. This is between you and the artist, right? You 2 parties work this out. And then you put in the publisher's wallet's automatically there. It's mine right now because I'm logged in. You could put the artist's address. They'll receive royalties. And then we come down here. You can do a social media link secured on chain. And then you get to important wallet decisions. And you can literally delegate 4% royalties to the 2 wallets. And it can stream however you guys want it to go. You can have 4% to one wallet, 3-1, 2-2, 1-3, whatever is appropriate between the two parties. And you do that, you get your royalty split set. We call this dual streaming royalties. And you come down here, you preview it, and you'd go to the preview page, you'd review, make sure there's no typos or anything like that. You do a couple on-chain transactions, and next thing you know, your card is burned. It's gone forever. And your metadata is now uploaded to something called the queue. And the queue is another thing I think nobody's done that we're really excited about. And basically, this is a place for, if it's going to be a collaborative art collection, then we need a way for the DAO and for the greater participants to have a way to signal if things are, breaking the rules or not, shouldn't be part of the collection. And so what happens is you uploaded that work. It doesn't get minted right away. Instead, it kind of goes into a purgatory, like a middle space here called the queue, a 5-day viewing period for soon to be minted NFTs. And each work has locked in it its metadata and a 5-day countdown. And there's only 3 rules to join this. You want to make your work gotchi. It has to reference Aavegotchi in some way. It could be the palette, the characters, the wearables, whatever you want. It's got to be friendly, right? No trolling, nothing too harsh. And then it's got to be original, right? Obviously, you want original works. So that's all the rules. Now we come down here. We can see right now, since we launched, currently there are 2 items in the queue, and they're epic pieces. This first one here with the Pepes is actually, both of these are actually crossover artists from the Fake Rares community. These are Fake Rares OGs that we're thrilled, willing to come over and check out, probably their first experience on Polygon, to be honest. And they were brought over by one of our guilds. So it turns out the Gotchiverse Gaming Guild, 8-Bit Guild, is actually becoming a bit of an art sub-DAO. And they have recruited some of their friends over in the Fake Rares space. And so Dark Farms, one of the most celebrated artists in the Fake Rares area, is over here with Fake Gotchis now. And he's creating a piece with 69 editions. And let's see, it's going to pass the queue in 2 days, 12 hours, and 12 minutes. And at that point, he will be able to, the publisher will be able to log in and do an on-chain transaction to take all 69 batch minted and deposited to their wallet. And from there, they can distribute it however they want. They can list them for sale. They can airdrop them to their community and their fans or their collectors, or they can wait until a few weeks from now when we launch GBM bid to earn auctions for basically gamified price discovery. And that's just a few weeks away. And the cool thing here is even the hearts are on-chain transactions. If you really like a piece and you're willing to spend, a little bit of Matic, you can signal your enthusiasm for a piece. And likewise, if you have at least 100 GHST tokens in your wallet or an Aavegotchi in your wallet, you will be eligible to flag the piece. So you do have to have some governance power in the Aavegotchi DAO in order to actually flag this. And the way it works is if it hits 10 flags, the smart contract's written to recognize that and automatically pause the minting countdown. This countdown will pause. And the only way it gets going again is if basically the Pixelcraft, we call them the Fake Gotchi scientists, tongue in cheek, they would come in and review and see why was it flagged 10 times? Is it breaking one of the 3 rules? If it's not, we'll do an on-chain transaction to let it proceed. Basically, our multi-sig allows that to happen. If it is quite offensive to one of those 3 rules, then the piece won't be minted, and the publisher messed up. They lose their card. The card's already burned. So it's a pretty cool decentralized way to curate an emerging art collection. And the second piece here I'm super excited about is Rite of Passage by Pepernardo. I saw his work in New York City earlier this year for NFT NYC at an art gallery in real life, and didn't realize till then that a lot of his work is hand done, oil painted, and it's at a level that is, super, super pro. It's way beyond my expectations. And we're just thrilled to have both of these incredible artists here in what we call the summoning works. The first pieces, they were the first ones to be gifted some of I think we did 20 Fake Gotchi cards to start. And the rest are all being distributed over the coming weeks through this drop ticket raffle. So if you still have some drop tickets, you could totally get in on this. And the first 1,000 were actually gifted to or earned by the rarity farmers in one of our gamified leaderboard competitions for your Aavegotchis. So people taking care of their Aavegotchis, they already got some cards. If you have drop tickets from staking your ghost, you may very well get some of the remaining 1,500 cards. If you're not doing either of those, don't worry, they're NFTs. They'll also be, I'm sure they'll be trading on OpenSea and also in our own marketplace, Aavegotchi.com, the bazaar. So yeah, these are just, and we can drill down here. We can go to explore and see if anything's already for sale. Here are some pieces that are actually on the market right now. And you can we got Wizard X, a lot of OGs came in here early. Bear Brains, I absolutely love the Bear Brains piece here. There's only 50 of them. And it's actually uploaded as a 4K MP4, I do believe. And it is, just amazing hand-drawn work. And he's being very fair. He's going for 100 ghost right now. So you can come down here. You can see the distribution of the pieces, how many wallets own these pieces, what's the floor. All of that stuff is kind of just now starting to get filled in because it's only been live for a couple of days. Like we went live last week, but the first 5 days were the queue. So nothing was actually minted until just like 48 hours ago. So it's all super fresh. I'm just glad everything deployed smoothly. It's all just working really, really how it should. And so we've got Javier Ares in here. This is an amazing piece. Yeah. There's a lot of artists in here you guys may be surprised to already be collecting or friendly with. And
yeah, a lot of these artists are very familiar.
Yeah. And we intend to do more outreach and more collaborations. And the cool part is it's decentralized. The DAO is going to get these fake Gotchi cards, and they can sell them, or they could become curators in their own right. And my suspicion is a lot of our most active guilds that are also tending towards being collecting DAOs or investment DAOs, they're actually already on great terms with a lot of artists, and they're going to start creating their own kind of series within the umbrella of fake gotchis. So you're going to be able to, by next week, come up here and just type in the name of the artist or the name of any publisher. So I'd be like, oh, 8-Bit Guild. I want to know all the pieces 8-Bit Guild has published. And you just type that in. Or I want to know all the pieces Whale has published, and you type it in, and it would just populate. So it's really cool how it's permissionless, and it's also empowering creators and collectors to collaborate.
Wow. This is absolutely amazing, honestly. Again, hats off to you. I mean, this is the wow. I am literally speechless of how awesome this is. And
we love the surprise.
one thing I want to clarify for people that aren't familiar with because you said that there's an auction coming up, right?
Yes, we haven't announced a date yet, so that's coming very soon. Yeah.
Now, I always loved your auctions, and I've participated in quite a few of them. But can you explain the mechanics of that? Because I always found that they were so cool, and the people watching that haven't experienced it, they will be very surprised on how this works.
I'm happy to. I know you were sharing your screen earlier. If you can pull up the tickets, I can even visually show it off a bit more. So I'll stop screen sharing.
Sure.
And you're welcome to pull up Aavegotchi.com again. And the way it works is we have these NFT raffle tickets, varying types depending on the theme of the raffle. And so, if we go My Tickets, do you have a My Tickets section there? Go ahead and click, and maybe you'll have some. Yeah, there we go. So we have different rarity levels for all the wearables. And so these bright colored ones here represent the different rarity levels, right? The godlike ones are the bright green. That means literally there's less than 10 of that wearable in existence. So they're the godlikes. And basically you can, when you stake your ghost, you would have these points accrue. And it's kind of like loyalty points. You would simply do an on-chain transaction to turn your loyalty points into minting a various ticket here you see. Now, the ticket we're going to do this time is not a wearable ticket. It's a drop ticket, this darker one on the bottom with kind of the crystal ball. And so those are the ones we've used for basically 721 NFTs. Typically, if it's a 721, we use that drop ticket. That could be for our land sales. We have had 2 major land sales for the Gotchiverse so far, accrued over $20 million worth of Ghost token at the time of those sales. But a big percentage, I believe 1/3, were not sold. They were all distributed via a chain link raffle using these drop tickets. And so we're always about balancing the distribution. It's really hard to have just one way that's perfect for everybody. And so we love the raffles as a way to balance distribution. And we're going to use these drop tickets again for the upcoming Fake Gotchi cards raffle. 1,500 Fake Gotchi cards of the 2535. So well over half of all the cards in existence are going to be raffled using these drop tickets. And so you can get these right now by just going to Aavegotchi.com and going to our marketplace, the bazaar, because you're probably, if you're listening for the first time, you're like, I'm not staking Ghost. I don't have these friends points. But yeah, you come into the bazaar. This is, given any day of the week, this is sometimes the NFT marketplace on Polygon with the most volume. It's quite incredible. And that's because there's so many different categories, so many different verticals, but one is the tickets. So you could come in and I guess, what is a drop ticket going for today?
1.9. That's not too bad.
1.9. And they're one-time use tickets, just like real life, right? So you don't want to go too overboard, but if you, want to pick up a few tickets, it's fun. And if you've never participated in a chain link raffle before, this is what it's all about. We build these platforms so that we can all experience Web3 in a more, something outside of just day trading. Like we want to really get into it and experience Web3 in a hands-on way. And this is one really fun way to do it. So if you were to put a ticket in and you were to win, you would basically, as soon as we have a 3-day window where everybody puts their tickets in, we'll announce these dates soon. You come in, you deposit your tickets. Then on the day of the actual drawing, the music stops, the chain link VRF calls its random number, and you go to your dashboard to see whether you won something or not. And you'll know immediately. As soon as that transaction is done, you'll either have some Fake Gotchi cards sitting in your wallet, or you'll have a sorry you didn't win anything message waiting for you. But that's the beauty of it. It's all automated, it's all trustless, and it's all transparent.
Awesome. That is so awesome. And you also have when things go down, you have that price discovery mechanic that I think is really cool on how to earn Ghost. If you're bidding, and then if you get outbid, you're earning Ghost, which is so cool.
I can't believe more projects aren't using this because, again, we just reached out to innovators in the space. It's called GBM. Their website is gbm.auction. And we use their auctions for our land distribution, for some of our wearables. It basically gives you gamified price discovery. And the way it works is if you know an English auction, it's like an English auction, except it's gamified in the sense that you are paid to lose. So let's say we'll have GBM auctions for Fake Gotchi artwork in the very near future. Let's say we want to bid on one of Javier's pieces. Javier's the creator of the very first Fake Gotchi. And let's say he puts a piece up and the auction is for 24 hours. I come in, I vote, I bid 100 Ghost. And then you come in after me and you bid 150. Well, because everything's on Polygon and contributes the value in real time, it's not an IOU, like my funds move to that smart contract. Then what happens is my 100 gets refunded to me plus a percentage of what you outbid me by. So I literally get paid to lose. And then that same will happen to you and the next person until the conclusion of the auction. You basically have the person who won the NFT and everybody else who got paid back with some extra change just for trying and losing. And so literally that's why their slogan is everybody wins. And I can't stress enough, it's probably by far the most, of all the fun things we do, it is the most satisfying experience. It's like so crypto. And and just so much fun. Like we will be doing that very soon, where we're going to launch Aavegotchi.com V2, and you'll be able to do GBM auctions for any Aavegotchi NFT. So you could auction your godlike ticket, you could auction your wearables, your Aavegotchi itself, or your fake gotchis. And that's all just a couple weeks away. So we're working hard on that to get that shipped.
Wow, that is so awesome. Yes, and folks, if you haven't experienced what Jesse was just talking about, I mean, it for me, you are 100% right, Jesse. It is the most fun experience I've had. It's so crypto, and you hit it right on the head. That's exactly how I would describe it. And I've had so much fun on the when you have your land sale, and when you had some other stuff and the wearables and whatnot, and just going back and forth and seeing like the bids and everything, and seeing that I've actually earned Ghost for getting outbid, and then trying to find the next maybe the next one that I want to bid on that might have that, and you don't lose. I mean, I ended up buying a couple pieces of land, and I got pretty good prices. And I also gained a bunch of Ghost, getting outbid. So I mean, I didn't lose anything. I was very, very happy with the experience.
A lot of people say if you think of the Ghost tokens you won on your way to actually getting the NFT you wanted, you factor that in, you basically got a discount.
Yeah,
so
yeah.
It's pretty cool.
I love it. And so the art is going to go into this type of system?
Yeah, the art along with everything else. So we're going to ship it to support all the Aavegotchi ecosystem NFTs, and it can't come soon enough for the fake gotchis. I know a lot of the artists and publishers are kind of holding back and on their supply until the GBM auctions go live, because they also want the price discovery and have some fun. And so, yeah, here we are in the Gotchiverse. We just shipped display cases for the NFTs. So you're going to be able to craft a display case and show off your fake gotchis, among with probably in the near future other artwork in the Gotchiverse. So if one of the main use cases of a metaverse right now is to be an art gallery, and so we're addressing that as well. And it's the latest release for us. Just last week we shipped the art release, which, like I said, was on the heels of us being able to support more Aavegotchis in the space, 10, 15, 20,000. You can see people here playing the farming game. They've crafted these harvesters, and they're literally mining Alchemica tokens from under their parcel. So each one of these is blue colored areas is a different parcel. And, it's getting more social all the time. And, if you log out, I will show you one more cool thing. If you go up to the settings icon there at the top, and we can kind of conclude here with one more quick tour. We'll quit. And this time, go ahead and select again. But notice in the corner, it says join as an observer. So anybody watching who doesn't have an Aavegotchi, you can now jump in as an observer. This is new as of last week. These are the one-eyed observers. And then check this out. You can actually hop into all these different events that are being hosted in the Gotchiverse right now. So like tomorrow night, you'll come here and you'll see a big Halloween party being hosted by Meta Guild. And we're going to actually stress test some PVE. We're going to be shooting pumpkins, and the pumpkins are going to be exploding with Alchemica tokens as of tomorrow. So yeah, this is a pretty epic parcel here. You can see this guy's crafted a lot of items. Everything from the purple grass to the decorations to the NFT display case are all crafted using the Alchemica tokens at the crafting table.
Wow.
And you can see we're already hosting, supporting a lot of different NFT artworks. So that one at the top there, top of his parcel, if you zoom in a bit, because you're pretty zoomed out now, yeah, you can see that's like actually one of the other Aavegotchi artists in the space. It's not a fake gotchi. This person did commissioned works for about a 6-month period, and they're really rare. And that's one of them. And it's on OpenSea, and they've got it there. Now, usually you'd be able to go and walk on top of it to get more information, but it looks like this person has blocked it off with pumpkin decorations. So,
wow, this is amazing.
Yeah, and we'll get what we do is it's all event based, right? It's like having a whip meetup in crypto voxels. Those are the best types of times. So you get 1,000 people together on a few parcels, and you can do talk bubbles and chit chat and throw emotes at each other. And pretty soon we'll be shipping where you can actually like tip each other. You'll be able to ship basically drop various types of supported ERC20 tokens to each other in the game. So we
Wow.
joke you'll be able to like have an art gallery. You'll be able to host a party, promote it on the front page, and then have instead of cheese and crackers like in real life, you'll say, "Yeah, we got some crafted, pinatas and different types of things that have play to earn tokens inside of them." And come on over to the party, and for the next 2 hours, we're going to be, competing for some of these, picking up some of these tokens, and debuting new artwork and all those kind of things. So it's a whole different way to think about looking at an art gallery, but this is kind of where we're going with this.
Oh, I love it. And honestly, and this is so great because I'm able to show a lot of the stuff that has been going on throughout the years. And you do. I mean, you said it perfectly. You can back everything up with a live product, and you haven't stopped building from day one. I mean, I remember back when you were doing those like secret missions before
Yeah.
the ghost portals were even released, and those secret missions were so cool. I was so I was trying to figure out what was going on for the longest time,
That's
and then
great.
when it clicked, it was like, oh, this is awesome. And then fast forward to today, look at what you've achieved. I mean, it's just absolutely amazing. I mean, everything that the project does is just fantastic.
And the crazy part is, thank you. And we still feel like we're so early because there's still so much left to build. The community is begging for, and rightfully so, they want their combat. So we're going to have an arena soon with all those gotchi traits suddenly affecting gameplay for a really unique, we're not going to do it generic. It's going to be a real unique combat arena. Imagine the Coliseum with Aavegotchis and where that might go. And all of that is coming up. So
Wow.
for now, the play to earn, we keep it real tight. Play to earn is only during events, sanctioned events, which basically is every Saturday, 2 p.m. UTC, 10 p.m. Singapore time, 10 a.m. New York time. Every Saturday we get together for a couple hours. The Alchemica tokens are harvestable. We're usually giving away some stuff, and now with the ability to do teleporting and have these NFT displays, people are starting to host like their own parties at their events, and we'll actually do like a parade around the Gotchiverse for an hour, and everybody kind of collects together and just vibes, and it's everything a metaverse should be, a
Oh,
Web3 metaverse for that matter.
wow. I am so excited. Oh, yeah, and I definitely have to join some of these events. I'm ready. I'm ready to jump back in.
Come back, come back in. The water is warmer than ever. The Halloween party will be epic, and if anybody wants to hop in, it's going to be basically happening in our Discord and the Gotchiverse all at the same time. And yeah, you're just we're right at the beginning, like achieving what we needed to with the support for tens of thousands of players is just weeks old, and it unlocks so much potential. So we're just getting into the stuff that we really want to get into. And yeah, you can see there, like all these are hosted events where people can basically host a bounce gate. It's like a trampoline teleporter. And for a limited time, they'll make the front page. And it's kind of like an auction. If they want to stay on the front page, they can spend some of their Alchemica to stay at the top and promote their events. And over time, we're just going to see more and more reasons you'd want to, have your stuff at the top.
That's awesome. And Alchemica, yeah, another token that, like you said, can be farmed here. I need to figure out what's going on because I have some Alchemica and I need to start building some stuff. And
Yeah. The only thing you missed is in that lower right corner on your screen would be a crafting table. And that's where the fun is. You go in there and there's a recipe book, and you just start, you start with your farm equipment, you get some NFT display cases, From there, you might get some decorations. There's like 5 or 6 subcategories of things that you can craft. And like I say, coming up, there'll be even more. So it's we're really just getting started.
That's amazing.
3 years in, 3 years in, but we're just getting started.
Right. It's true. It's true. I like going forward. It just blows my mind what this team can do, because every time I look back at this game, which is frequent, but not as frequent as I should, there's always something new and something exciting going on. Man, this has gone by really quick, and there was a lot of information. Going back to the fake Gochis, I want to make sure everybody, because myself, I actually want to make a art piece for this. I'm really excited about it, actually. But for the people that were thinking about doing this, what is the bullet points that they need to know to get involved?
Yeah, I would just suggest going to fakegotchis.com. Also, a wonderful place is blog.aavegotchi.com. There's a lot of information there. Following Fake Gotchis on Twitter, and of course, Aavegotchi. And if you were to get started today, you come to fakegotchis.com. It's way less intimidating than maybe getting started at Aavegotchi, because with Aavegotchi, you got a lot of options. With Fake Gotchis, you're doing one thing. You're going to get some ghost token. If you click, I don't know, like if you click on your wallet, you've got a get ghost button right here. It just takes care of you. And, explore, check out the queue, see what's coming up, see if the artwork moves you, see if you know the artists. And there's just a ton to discover, and just start going through and, keeping tabs on it, because we'll be announcing dates for the Fake Gotchi card raffle soon. And like I say, if you don't get it there, the Fake Gotchi cards themselves are also going to be something that you can, trade on the marketplace. They're NFTs. So you'll find them at Aavegotchi.com in the bazaar. You'll find them here. We'll add a section where you can just filter for the cards themselves. And then I'm sure some of them will pop up on OpenSea. So it's all just getting started, and why not be part of something pretty special? So I'm so thrilled to see the endorsement of so many of my favorite crypto artists in the space over the years coming over and being willing to check this out and get started with us on day one. I think it speaks to the thought and the thoughtfulness put behind the design of the Fake Gotchis platform. And we really want to have an emerging art collection and see where it goes. I think this will gradually happen over time, that on a timeline that's measured in years, not in weeks or months. These cards aren't going to burn overnight.
Absolutely. And if you're an artist wanting to get involved, what is that first step that you have to take?
So there's 2 ways. You can, because of the beauty of this design, if you're an artist, a creative, you can get your own card, and then you can literally be there's 2 wallets that get royalties, right? You can be both. You can be the publisher and the artist. Like here, Bear Brains is both the artist and the publisher. So is Wizard X. But then there's also opportunities where you could collaborate with somebody who has the cards. Maybe you want to be part of you notice that 8-Bit Guild has really good taste. They have tastemaker status. And so you could pitch to 8-Bit Guild or to the Portal Mages. These are some of the up and coming guilds that are taking this very seriously and curating their kind of team of artists. And so you could consider becoming part of one of these wider collections under a publishing name. So it'd be like the Portal Mages publishes DC, something like that. And that might be a way to go. Like, let them spend their card on you. And so it's super flexible. I can't stress enough, just hop in the Discord, ask questions, have fun, enjoy the art, and go from there. So there's something for everybody. We got Rare Labs in here, Rare Designer.
Yeah. Rare Designer, for sure.
Look at what he made. Wow. He took we have a cute pet called the Raffle, which I think is the best name for a pet ever. and the Raffle frog is Aavegotchi's pet. It's a little pet on the side there. It's a wearable. And then he took it and just blew it up into this amazing monster here. And this is this is amazing. So this just went live. There's 100 editions, and he hasn't even distributed them yet. As you can see, he has listed none of them for sale. Everybody's waiting. He minted it, but has yet to distribute. So there's some drama every day, right? There's always something to, log in and see what's happening. I basically drink my coffee in the morning, and the first thing I do is go to the queue and just see if anything has entered the countdown, if anything's ready to mint, that kind of thing.
Wow.
So yeah,
so this is awesome.
It's very chill. Like, just come in and enjoy. So
well, I know what I'm gonna do for the I got to start planning, make some art, get a card, and then or hey, China, if you'd like to sponsor me.
Yeah, I bet Chonya, I saw him popping up. He's probably going to get some cards. Chonya will have cards for sure. So yeah, it's very exciting. We couldn't be happier with how Fake Gotchis has come together. It didn't take anything away from Gotchiverse. We have a dedicated team building out the Gotchiverse. And basically it came down to me and Coder Dan and Javier, some of the co-founders and summoners, just saying, look, we really want to summon this, to bring this to life. So we're just going to put in the extra hours and, little passion project and put this together over the last few months.
Man, I cannot be more excited about this. I'm looking at the community. They're very excited. We have a ton of links, folks, in the stream text. So if you're not a part of the Aavegotchi server, please head over there and get involved. I mean, honestly, what a great project. I can't say enough. I've been a huge fan for years now. You've seen on my screen, I have ghosts and I have land. I just can't say enough. And you can see here, I mean, this Fake Gotchis project is fantastic. But really and truly, Jesse, I mean, I got to say it again. I mean, everything that the team puts out is just out of this world. And this is why these great artists have actually built stuff for it. Because, I mean, look at what you're doing. It's just unbelievably awesome. So, I mean, Skeeny is there. I mean, Javier, obviously, Wizard X. I mean, there's so many great artists that already have done pieces, Rare Designer. And I'm sure there's going to be a ton more. So, I couldn't be more excited about this whole thing.
Skeeny's piece just passed the queue a few hours ago. I was at dinner. I got to get back and see if he's going to list any or if I already missed out. I'm actually a bit concerned because Skeeny's piece is amazing. It has his kind of signature skeleton. It's high definition animated piece called FUD versus FOMO. And I believe there's only 21 editions. So it's one of the rarer launch pieces. And I'm a little concerned now. You just scared me, just reminded me.
I don't know, because China, he's in the chat here and he may have said that it just sold out. Okay. Oh, that's so sad. I need to yell at Skeeny and say, hey, what the heck?
Yeah, we got Rizzle in here, and
I know the chains. Yeah,
everybody did. It's crazy. So
man, this is great. Yeah. I mean, look at this. Too late. It's sold out. So sad.
Oh gosh. All right. Skeeny.
Yeah. But
it's such a diverse, you got the OGs from Layer 1 Ethereum, you've got the OGs from Fake Rares and Rare Pepes and everybody in between, some Polygon artists. And then, as you know, some of them are just pure talent out of the 3-year-old maturing Gotchi gang. So we wanted to balance that. So a lot of the early cards did go to some of Aavegotchi DAO's most talented and prolific artists. So yeah, it's really cool. It's such a melting pot.
I love it. Now, Jesse, I mean, I am honored that you're here, and I really do appreciate your time. This whole thing flew by faster than I thought it would. We did cover a lot, which I'm very excited about because I really wanted people to know what's going on with this project. Do you want to leave us with anything? I know we have Fake Gotchis here. Do you want to leave us with any alpha or anything that you want to share with the community before we roll out?
Just that I can guarantee tomorrow, Saturday, 2 p.m. UTC will be a excellent time. It's a perfect time to dip in the Gotchiverse, and it'll be the first time ever we've done PvE, because we're going to basically be able to, the Gotchis will be able to shoot the equivalent of hearts at these evil pumpkins and play to earn a little bit. But it's like some of the early stress tests you joined, it's like all about coming together and building a game together. And that's really what we're trying to achieve with the Gotchiverse. Is we don't want to be a normal game dev studio building a Web 2 game that happens to have some NFTs sprinkled on top. Instead, we believe that Web3 games should look and feel different, and they should be built in Web3 ways. And so if you're interested in that, if that resonates with you and you'd like to have an impact on the development and the life cycle of a game, a major, basically browser-based RPG, then you should wander on over and join us, because that's where the real alpha is in the daily. The DAO creates its own alpha. There's pieces in there and meta changes that are being debated right now that are out of my control. So it is all the DAO. That said, look forward to combat. Combat's going to be nuts. The arena is going to be crazy, and I can't wait to get more details on that out, in the near future.
Oh, I love that. And yeah, folks, I mean, really, really, I could not say enough about this game, about this team. Again, I'm a huge fan. Obviously, you've heard me speak for the past hour, and I can't say enough. But go check out the Halloween party. Go check out the community. It's amazing. Go check out the Aavegotchi site and get ready, because there's going to be some amazing art. There already is, and artists on there. The only thing that I could think of as we cue this off is I have to get ready and get a piece ready for this, because I'm going to use one of my ghosts. Yeah, I already have it planned out. It's going to be exciting. So
there you go. Ready your ghost. So no, that's perfect. And thanks again for having us. We're big fans of everything that's going on with Whale and the thesis behind the collections of NFTs and the vault and all of that. So we love to engage with the community, and I think there's a lot of overlap in terms of kind of the ethic and the why we're in crypto. So that's a great starting point for any conversation.
Absolutely. Yeah, we definitely have a lot of the same values and know a lot of the same artists and a lot of our members are over there, and vice versa. So wow. And we do talk a lot about Aavegotchi, especially, I mean, I see a bunch of people in the chat right now, in the Discord that are big fans. So
you wanted some alpha for the end, right? So
sure.
This is, I mean, this isn't even alpha. This is just me, but like,
oh, what is this?
I'm busy with something with physicals.
Oh, that's awesome.
Yeah, that's the Pepernardo piece, and nobody has seen this yet. I have a lot of explaining to do, but this is not just for fun. It's a little R&D. So that's the alpha. That's real alpha.
Man,
it won't be the normal physicals. That's all I'm going to say.
Oh, I love that. Oh, you heard it here.
Yeah. Anybody stay until the end, you got it. So
that's awesome.
Yeah. We'll see where it goes. It's super early. So yeah. I hope everybody enjoyed this. I really enjoyed connecting with you again, DC. It's been a while, and likewise with just the Whale community in general. So, yeah.
Well,
I see the eyeballs coming out.
We will do this again very soon. Very soon, Jesse.
Awesome. Thanks so much.
All right. Bye, everybody. Thanks for tuning in, and we will see you next time.